what's up, guys? We are in our second week in our study on the fruits of the Spirit. And so this week, it leads us to the idea of joy. But remember, the fruits of the Spirit, they are found in Galatians. Galatians was written by Paul to the church at Galatia, who is being led astray by false teachers. This is an instructional letter about things they can do to come out of it. And it's also a reminder of the gospel to the church at Galatia. But that brings us to Galatians chapter 5, verses 22 through 23. We know that the fruits of the Spirit are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such thing there is no law. So that brings us to the word to focus on for this week, and that is joy. Well, what is joy? Well, simply defined, joy is something that is a feeling of great pleasure or happiness. So it's something that makes us joyous, something that brings us happiness, right? There's two types of joyousness and happiness. The first is heavenly joy, and the latter is earthly joy. See, earthly joy are things like enjoying your favorite hobby, right? For me, to go play a round of golf is very joyous. For you, maybe practicing the instrument that you play brings you a lot of joy. And these joys are not bad things at all, but there's a difference in that kind of joy that brings us happiness versus the heavenly joy. So we see that a heavenly joy is greater than an earthly joy. See, when we are in the middle of showing joy, when we are at our most joyous, we are at the center of God's will for us. Why? Because we can simply only find joy in Jesus. See, Jesus turns our sorrow into joy. I have a couple references, but Psalm 51:12, David's writing, he says, "Restore to me the joy of salvation." Right? That salvation moment in your life and the salvation moment in my life is very joyous. While there was so much shame I'd felt from my sin and realizing and how holy Jesus was, at the same time there was joy in my life because I knew I was forgiven of that sin. Romans 15:13, Paul's writing, says, "May the God of hope fill you with joy." Fill you with joy. God fills us with joy whenever we are surrounding ourselves with Him. 1 Peter 1:8, it says, "Though you have not seen Him, but you have believed in Him, and He has given you joy." See, 1 Peter is written by Peter, and he's writing a lot about suffering in the church, and he's saying, though you have not seen Him, though you've believed in Him, that has brought you a lot of joy. What I want you to hear today is that joy is contagious, and joy can only come from the Lord, right? Joy can only come from the Lord. So this is what I want to challenge you today. Spend time with the Lord. Why? Because that is where we can find joy. We cannot find joy in earthly things. See, after I finish a round of golf and I'm joyous about it, soon that's going to fade, right? After you play the instrument that brings you joy, that's soon going to fade. Why? Because it's something we have to continually draw from. But just like Jesus is the living water, when we continually go to Him, that is where we find true joy that never leaves us empty, but He satisfies us. He satisfies our joy. Why? Because the forgiveness He gives us. He satisfies our joy because He sets us free from sin. He sets us free from shame. And our joy can only come from God the Father. Hope to see you soon.